Okay, trying a different method for video recording. Okay, the three main things that I am taking away from this course are, the first is how to share information in short and effective ways. So whether that's in like Twitter or on an infographic or in a policy brief, I've learned how to provide basic information about a policy and then also share it with a variety of people so that hopefully they will take that information and do something with that. And in the future, I hope to be able to integrate this into whatever work I'm doing. So, for example, if I'm working at an office space, putting up flyers in the bathroom, or if I'm working in a public setting, putting up posters, writing letters to congresspeople, or letters to the editor if I think that's important. So I can see doing that in a variety of ways. The next thing that I'm taking away is how integrated policies often are and the potential that creates for working with a variety of people to make changes. So, for example, my policy brief was about consent in education, and I think that integrates mental health, healthcare, education, working with youth. In a lot of ways, those areas are pretty separate in our lives right now, and I think that this field allows us to bridge a lot of those gaps and utilize people in these different communities to make changes. So in the future, I can totally see, if I'm working at a community mental health center and I think that a policy change should happen, reaching out to teachers or parents or other community members to try and work together to make some policy changes, and really being aware of the resources that I have in a community when I'm thinking about a policy change and thinking about who might be interested or who might have some stakes in the change. And then the last thing that I'm taking away is just the importance of knowing that there doesn't seem to be a perfect policy. So our in-person class really showed me just how easy it is to pull apart policies and nitpick and say what's wrong with them and say why they wouldn't work or the harm that they would do. And I do think analyzing is really important. And I also just realize how important it is to be aware of the potential that could happen as well, the potential positive things that could happen. So I really want to inform myself about policies so that I know all the different sides of it and don't get caught up in the negatives, and then also think that it's good just as a social worker in the future to be aware that even if I'm potentially impacted by negative parts of a policy, really looking at, okay, what good is happening here? How is this changing things for the better? And then I think policy advocacy is an integral part of social work because it impacts us on every level of social work. We, even if we're working in a micro setting, we're influenced by policies, or our clients are influenced by them, and so it matters. And with that, we can make changes, even at a small level by publicizing or by writing a letter or standing up for our clients if that's appropriate. And I think there's a lot of potential there for change and an awareness that as social workers our voices do matter. And I think that, you know, it's part of being a social worker is caring about these things, and being willing to not just be informed about them, but being willing to stand up for or against things that are really important to us or that may be influencing the people or communities that we work with.